They told you delays meant failure. They told you that if things didn't happen when you wanted, it meant you were behind, unlucky, forgotten. But what if I told you every single delay in your life was never rejection, never punishment? It was protection. Think about it. The job that slipped away, the relationship that didn't work, the opportunity that vanished right when you thought it was yours. What if those things weren't meant to break you, but to shield you from what would have broken you? This is the hidden side of spiritual awakening, the unseen hand guiding chosen ones toward higher consciousness. Every delay carries a message. Every pause is a whisper saying, wait, there's something better aligned with you. The problem is we rarely see it in the moment. We only see the frustration, the waiting, the feeling of being left behind. But delays are like invisible guardians, pulling you away from paths that look safe but end in pain, and pushing you toward roads you would have never dared to walk, roads that change everything. Here's the hard truth. Chosen ones often face more delays than anyone else, not because they're unlucky, but because their journey is different. When your life is designed to rise to higher consciousness, shortcuts aren't allowed. You can't rush transformation. You can't be handed your purpose before you've grown the strength to hold it. Imagine giving someone the keys to a rocket before they've learned how to drive a car. It wouldn't just fail, it would explode. That's why your delays matter. They're training you, protecting you, making sure when the door finally opens you're not just ready, you're unstoppable. Think back to the last time you felt crushed by a delay. Maybe you applied for something you were certain you'd get, only to be rejected. Maybe you were ready to move forward in a relationship, and it ended instead. In that moment you probably thought, why me? Why now? But imagine if you had gotten what you wanted. Would it really have served you? Or would it have drained your energy, lowered your vibration, and blocked you from the path you're meant for? So many people confuse delay with denial. But what looks like a setback is often protection from mediocrity. The universe or life itself is telling you, you deserve more than this. Wait, trust the timing. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who lost a flight. He arrived late, furious, embarrassed, certain that missing that plane ruined his future. Hours later, he discovered that very flight had crashed. In that moment, his delay wasn't just protection, it was salvation. Now, not every story is that dramatic, but the principle is the same. The job you didn't get might have kept you trapped in stress and unhappiness. The partner who left you might have stolen years of your peace. The deal that fell through might have collapsed later and dragged you down with it. You only see the delay. You don't see the disaster it saved you from. Spiritual awakening feels like suffering when you're stuck in the waiting. Higher consciousness doesn't come wrapped in instant gratification. It comes through patience, resilience, and a deeper trust that delays are part of your protection plan. You might not like waiting, but you're not waiting for nothing. You're waiting because you're being redirected. Chosen ones live through this more often than most. Why? Because their lives carry weight. Their decisions ripple farther. When your path is meant to inspire, to elevate, to create, the stakes are higher. Protection shows up in the form of delays, because if you jump too soon, you'd lose the very thing you're being prepared for. Here's the twist nobody talks about. Delays don't just protect you from bad things, they also protect you from yourself. Think about how many times you wanted something only because of impatience, ego, or comparison. You saw someone else achieving it and thought, I need that now. But deep down you weren't ready. If you had gotten it, you would have fumbled it, sabotaged it, or wasted it. Delays save you from your own unpreparedness. They give you time to build discipline, clarity, and emotional strength. Because protection isn't only about keeping danger away, it's also about building you up to meet the blessings when they arrive. Some people spend years angry at the delays in their life. They think, if only this had happened sooner, I'd be happy. But the truth is, if it had happened sooner, they wouldn't have been ready. Imagine planting a seed and then screaming at the ground because it hasn't grown into a tree overnight. That's how most people treat their lives. They want higher consciousness, spiritual awakening, freedom, abundance, love, all instantly. But chosen ones learn to respect delays as part of the process. They know the roots are growing before the tree appears, and roots are what protect you when storms come. Without those roots, the first challenge would knock everything down. So the delay isn't the absence of growth, it's the unseen growth that makes everything else possible. There's also another layer of protection in delays: the people around you. Sometimes the delay isn't about you, it's about them. You might be ready, but the people you need to meet aren't. The team that will help you build your dream isn't in position yet. The mentor who will change your perspective hasn't crossed your path. The environment that will support your growth isn't stable. If your breakthrough came too early, you'd be standing on unstable ground. So the delay is synchronizing everything around you, not just inside you. Protection doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in alignment. You've probably noticed that the longer the delay, the bigger the breakthrough that follows. That's not a coincidence. Life doesn't withhold for no reason. If you've been waiting longer than others, it's because what's waiting for you is greater than what others settle for. Chosen ones are delayed not because they're cursed, but because they're being prepared for a stage most people will never reach. Every pause in your journey is setting up a stage where your higher consciousness can shine. Spiritual awakening isn't about rushing to the finish line. It's about understanding that the pauses are as powerful as the progress. But let's be honest, delays hurt. They test your patience. They make you doubt yourself. Sometimes you feel abandoned, watching everyone else move ahead while you're stuck waiting. And here's where the protection is hardest to see. Because while you're focused on what hasn't happened yet, you overlook what hasn't happened to you. You didn't fall into the wrong crowd. You didn't sign the wrong deal. You didn't marry the wrong person. You didn't get trapped in the wrong city. All of those things could have stolen years of your life. Your delay might feel heavy, but it's lighter than the baggage you were spared. Chosen ones need to hear this. Your delay is not wasted time. It's invested time. It's character being built, wisdom being sharpened, energy being preserved. Every delay is like a hidden contract saying, "You will thank me later." When the door finally opens, you won't just walk through it. You'll understand why every other door had to stay closed. That understanding is what makes spiritual awakening powerful. It's not just about getting what you wanted. It's about becoming the person who can thrive once you have it. Here's the beautiful part. Once you rise to higher consciousness, you start seeing delays differently. You no longer panic when things take longer. You no longer compare your timeline to others. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What's being prepared for me?" That shift turns frustration into peace and peace into power. Because now you understand that every delay, no matter how painful, is secretly your shield. And a shield doesn't block you from opportunity. It blocks you from harm so that you can walk into opportunity safely. So the next time you face a delay, pause. Don't curse it. Don't rush it. Ask yourself, what is this delay protecting me from? What is it preparing me for? That simple shift will save you years of doubt and self-blame. Because life isn't punishing you, it's positioning you. And when it's finally your time, you'll realize the delay wasn't holding you back. It was holding everything else back until you were ready to rise. And maybe that's the secret you've been missing all along. Every delay was not a detour. It was a safeguard. A whisper saying, "Not yet." Because what's meant for you will not just arrive. It will arrive when you are strong enough, wise enough, and prepared enough to hold it. That's not rejection. That's protection. If this connected with you, thank you for watching until the end. Like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because maybe their delay is not the end of their story. It's the protection that saves their future.